Wang Lin, the protagonist of Renegade Immortal, is known across the cultivation world for his extraordinary power. But what truly sets him apart isn't just his cultivation level, it's the dual path he walks. Wang Lin cultivates both as an immortal and as an ancient god. This rare and dangerous combination makes him uniquely powerful, allowing him to switch between forms or merge them together to unleash terrifying strength. Throughout his journey, there are 8 key moments when Wang Lin fuses his immortal clone with his original ancient god body. Each fusion marks a critical turning point in his story, and each time he faces formidable opponents or immense challenges that test his very limits. Let's explore these 8 fusion events and the epic battles and events that followed. The first fusion occurred when Wang Lin faced the Heavenly Dao Messenger for the first time. Up until that point, Wang Lin usually traveled in the world with his immortal clone, keeping the existence of his ancient god body a closely guarded secret. But when faced with overwhelming force, he summoned his ancient god body and merged it with the clone. The result was astonishing. His combat powers surged dramatically, catching even the Heavenly Dao Messenger off guard. This fusion marked the beginning of a battle strategy that would become one of Wang Lin's most devastating trump cards. After this, Wang Lin's strength grew significantly, especially after receiving assistance from Donghua when he entered the soul-refining sect. With Donghua's help, his injuries were fully healed, and his cultivation reached new heights. Soon after, he would initiate the second fusion, this time not for defense, but for revenge. His targets were none other than the powerful Snow Region Lord, Li Yuanfeng, and the Troll Ancestor. At that time, Wang Lin's immortal clone was at the peak of the transformation stage, and his original body had only reached the level of a 3-star ancient god. Meanwhile, his 2 enemies had both entered the infant transformation stage, one full realm above him. Most cultivators believed this revenge attempt would end in disaster. But once Wang Lin fused again, their underestimation turned to awe. The combination of the ancient god's body with the immortal clone's full cultivation force allowed Wang Lin to withstand powerful immortal arts. Even more impressively, the ancient god's phantom in the clone's state of transformation allowed him to exert mental pressure equal to that of an infant transformation cultivator. Li Yuanfeng was ultimately forced to surrender, and his soul was captured by Wang Lin's soul flag. As for the Troll Ancestor, although he resisted fiercely and drew upon the deep foundation of his troll tribe, he was already weakened from an earlier battle with Sun Tai. In the end, his last act was a desperate, suicidal magical attack meant to kill Wang Lin alongside himself. But even that failed. Following this grueling battle, Wang Lin was teleported outside the Suzaku Star and began preparations for the revival of Li Muwan's nascent soul. During this peaceful interval, his clone and original body separated once more to recover and stabilize their cultivation. But 3 years later, when the heavenly tribulation for Li Muwan's resurrection finally arrived, Wang Lin performed the third fusion. This fusion was once again to fight the Heavenly Dao Messenger. This time, Wang Lin's strength had grown even further. During this battle, he managed to block the heavenly punishment and came close to unraveling the secret behind the heavenly tribulation. Yet at the last moment, Li Muwan chose not to return to life. Her decision left Wang Lin deeply heartbroken, forging in him a powerful obsession that would drive him forward relentlessly in the years to come. Although he resumed his path, he continued using the strategy of keeping his clone active in the outside world, while the original ancient god body remained hidden in the shadows. Even during major events like the battle at the Suzaku tomb, he refrained from using the fusion, saving it only for moments of utmost urgency. It wasn't until he left Suzaku Star with Situnan that he fused for a 4th time. This time the fusion was not for battle, but for sparring. Through numerous training sessions with Situnan, Wang Lin was exposed to high-level combat strategies and fighting styles. His understanding of battle expanded rapidly. However, because he and Situnan had different aspirations, their paths eventually diverged, and the fusion ended without conflict. After that, Wang Lin did not use the fusion for many years. The gap between his clone and original body had grown too wide. That changed during the war between the Alliance Star Domain and the Lutian Star Domain, By then, Wang Lin had returned to the Vermilion Bird Star as a true Thunder Immortal from the Thunder Immortal Palace. But just as he arrived, he was targeted for assassination by the powerful organization known as the Killing Realm. The assassin, calling himself the Killing Servant Yu Fei, was terrifying. His true body had reached the middle stage of Nirvana, and he controlled 7 clones, each in the early Nirvana stage. At that time, Wang Lin's clone had only just stepped into the early Nirvana stage and was nowhere near strong enough to win alone. So he performed the 5th fusion. Once again, the power boost was overwhelming. Wang Lin crushed Yu Fei in battle, forcing him to flee into the Killing Realm. But Wang Lin didn't stop there. He chased him down and finished him off. From that moment on, Wang Lin rarely separated his bodies. The environment was simply too dangerous. Enemies lurked in every shadow, and any slip-up could mean death. Until the conclusion of the second Demon Spirit Land, Wang Lin stayed in his fused state. It was only after awakening the Vermilion Bird for the second time, after swallowing the Fire Dragon Spirit Beast, and gaining the protection of the 4 saints that he finally separated his bodies once again. 3 years later, Wang Lin accepted the mantle of leadership among the 4 saints and was entrusted with a mission to rescue the Azure Dragon Saint Emperor, who had been imprisoned for tens of thousands of years in the Reign Immortal realm. The Immortal realms had long since collapsed, and entering the Reign Immortal realm was extremely perilous. Knowing the danger ahead, Wang Lin chose to perform the 6th fusion before setting out. At this point, his immortal clone was in the early Nirvana stage, while the ancient god body had advanced to 5 stars. Their fusion created a terrifying warrior, strong enough to defeat broken Nirvana cultivators and dominate nearly any enemy within the same realm. With this power, Wang Lin succeeded in rescuing the Azure Dragon Saint Emperor and even managed to revive the Qinglin Immortal Emperor, who had slumbered for tens of thousands of years. Yet peace was short-lived. Tuosin escaped from the land of the ancient gods, and to avoid danger, Wang Lin traveled to the Guiyuan sect on the Moro continent to lay low. During this rare period of calm, Wang Lin again separated his bodies. The clone immersed himself in studying alchemy, while the ancient god body cultivated underground. However, after destroying too many precious ingredients due to failed alchemy attempts, the clone became too embarrassed to face the younger generation of the Guiyuan sect. Wang Lin had no choice but to perform the 7th fusion to regain his strength and set off in search of new materials. This time, his power had grown immensely. The original body had advanced to a 6-star ancient god, and the clone had reached pure nirvana. The result was explosive. Wang Lin could now slay 8th-level spirit beasts in seconds. Broken nirvana monks, once considered fearsome enemies, were now no match for him. But with great power came greater responsibility and even more terrifying enemies. As the final battle between the inner and outer realms drew near, Wang Lin chose to separate the clone in the original body once again. The original body remained to guard the sealing formation and monitor the outer realm, while the clone embarked on a mission to recreate the 4 immortal realms and build a new fairyland. This was a crucial step in preparing for the decisive war that would determine the fate of the realm. Exactly 1 month later, just 3 days before the war began, the newly formed ancient fairyland opened its gates. Wang Lin performed the 8th and final fusion, the most powerful and awe-inspiring of all. His original body had evolved into a 7-star Dao ancient body, combining the powers of the ancient god, ancient demon, and ancient devil. His clone, now in the mid-stage of the Void Realm, had mastered 6 origin powers: thunder, fire, killing, truth and falsehood, life and death, and cause and effect. Armed with a divine weapon, Li Guang's bow and arrow, Wang Lin could threaten even the top figures of the Void Realm. His power shook the entire realm, and aside from the mysterious 7-colored Taoist, no one dared to challenge him. Though Wang Lin had yet to reach the peak of the cave realm, his influence had already climbed to unimaginable heights. And that brings us to the end of Wang Lin's legendary journey through the 8 fusions of his immortal clone and ancient god body. Each fusion wasn't just a rise in power, it was a defining moment shaped by bloodshed, revenge, love, survival, and destiny. From challenging Heavenly Dao Messengers to shattering the Void Realm's balance of power, Wang Lin proved time and again why he stands as one of the most formidable cultivators in the entire cultivation universe. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Renegade Immortal, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another journey into the world of cultivation. Got thoughts about Wang Lin's fusions? Or theories on what lies beyond the Void Realm? Drop your insights in the comments. We love hearing from fellow Taoists like you. Until next time, keep cultivating your path, and remember, even in the face of fate, a true cultivator never stops moving forward.